Welcome to our Mathcast on the volume and surface area of prisms. Our goal is to help you better understand the concepts at hand when you need it and at your own pace. We hope you enjoy this Mathcast on the volume and surface area of prisms. Finding the volume of a prism is very easy. It is simply finding the area of the base shape and multiplying it by height. Here's the area of the base shape, and here is the height. The formula is simple. Base times height, except the large B stands for the area of the base, and the H stands for the height of the shape. But wait, for problems like this, how do you know where the base is? Simple. If the base is a square, it can be anywhere. If the base is a triangle, it's easier to use the triangle with the numbers around it for the base. The first step to the problem is finding the area of the base. If the 3D shape confuses you, imagine the base by itself. To find the area of the base, multiply the length times the width of the 3D shape, or the length and the height of the shape by itself. In this case, it would be 7 times 7. 7 times 7 is 49. So for the area of the base, we get 49. Now, we need to multiply 49 by the height. The height, obviously, is 7. Now we have to do 49 times 7. 49 times 7 would end up as 343. Our label would be millimeters squared because millimeters is the label, and cubed is, and we're talking about a 3D shape, so it has to be cubed. So we would have a small 3 instead of a small 2. So our final answer would be 343 millimeters cubed. Okay, so now that we can find the volume of cubes and rectangular prisms, we need to try it on a triangular prism. First, we need to find the base of the shape to get the area of the base. As we can see, the base of the shape is a triangle. To find the area of the base, we need to use the triangle formula. This means we need to multiply a number by half. In this case, we'll be multiplying 8 by half. So our first step is to multiply 8 by half, also known as 8 divided by 2. So instead of 8, we will be using 4 for right here. Now to find the area of the base, we do 4 times 5, which is the base and the height of the area of the base. 4 times 5, and we would end up with 20. And we have 20 as the area of the base. As we look at the shape, we see that 18 is the height right here. So we have to do 20 times 18. This number looks huge, but it's okay. We'll just have to do the work. 10 times 0 is 0. 8 times 2 is 16. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 2 is 2. We end up with 360 as our final answer. 60 inches cubed. Okay, now that we know how to find the volume, we need to look at what doubling the height would do. Once we read the problem, the height of a rectangular prism is 4 meters and the length is 4 meters. Well, doubling the height doubles the volume of the shape. We don't even need to do the work. Since we are using height, we can cross out the length part, since that is not necessary for our answer. If we double the height, it would double the volume of the shape. Because imagine if we added another exactly the same shape on top of the current shape. If we add the volumes together, it would be double the size of the original volume. So this would work, yes. The formula for the surface area of the prism is much different than the one for volume. We still have the area of the base here, but it is multiplied by 2, which is like doubling. Then we have the perimeter of the base, which is just where the area of the base is, just the perimeter, multiplied by the height of the figure. And then once we've got both of these, we add them together to get our final answer. Our first step is to find the area of the base. This problem may look confusing, so let's bring our 8 down to the base line. To find the area of the base, we multiply 8 times 2. and we would get 16. Now we have to do 16 times 2, as noted here. And we get 32 as this part of our answer. To find the perimeter, we must take 2 and 8. We draw a small 8 across from the current one, and same with the 2. Current 8, small 8 over here, 2, small 2 over here. Now we add all of our sides up to get perimeter. 8 plus 8 plus 2 plus 2, which would be 20. Now we multiply 20 times 5, and we get 100. Now we add 100 plus 20, and our final answer is 120. The label would be meters squared, because meters is the measurement being used, and we're not talking about volume, so this small part is squared and not cubed. Let's try finding the surface area of a triangular prism. First, we need to find the area of the base. To find it, we need to multiply half by 4, so we could get 2 right here. Our next step is to find the area of the base, which will be multiplying our 2 right here and our 2 right here to get 4. Then, as you can see in the problem, we need to multiply 4 by 2 to get the first part, which would be 8. We have 8 for our first part of the answer. But finding the perimeter is tricky in this problem because it does not give us the measurement for the slanted part. To find the slanted measurement, we would need to use the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem is the formula a2 plus b2 equals c2. So a2 plus b2 equals c2. We would need to make this triangle right here a right triangle in order to use the Pythagorean theorem. So we would have 2 and 2 to replace a and b. So we would get 4 plus 4, which is 8, equals c squared. The opposite of squaring is square rooting. We would need to square root both of these numbers to get rid of the square on the c. There is no exact answer of the square root of 8, so we would have to use 2.8 to get our closest. Now we have to add our 2, our 4, our 2.8, and our 2.8 here. 4 plus 2.8 would be 6.8, plus 2.8 would be 9.6. So 9.6 would be our perimeter. Now we need to multiply 9.6 times 9, since 9 is our height. 9.6 times 9 would be 86.4. So our final answer would be 86.4 plus 8, which would equal 94.4. Therefore, our final answer would be 94.4 inches squared. Let's try doing a story problem. Bob is wrapping a cube-shaped present. He doesn't have much wrapping paper, so he decides not to wrap the bottom. How much wrapping paper will we need? So we have to use our formula 2b plus ph. To find the base, we need to multiply 9 times 9, which would get 81 for our area of the base. Now we have to do 81 times 2. We will get 162 for the first part of the answer. Now we have to find the perimeter, which would technically be 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. The easier way to do that would be 9 times 4. So let's use 9 times 4 to find our perimeter. Now you have to multiply our perimeter times our height. So we must do 36 times 9. 36 times 9 is 324. So we have 324 for the last part of our answer. If we add these two together, we would get 486. 486 inches squared would not be our final answer, though, because remember, he did not wrap the bottom, so we now have to subtract the bottom from the final total. So we need to subtract the bottom from it. The bottom would be the area of the base, which would be 81, as we did earlier. So we must subtract 81 from our final answer. Our answer then will be 405 inches squared. How much wrapping paper will Bob need? 405 inches squared wrapping paper. Thank you for listening to this mathcast on the volume and surface area of prisms. Please feel free to listen and learn from other mathcasts on this channel.